He's saying things that almost make half our country believe, because they believe him and they voted for him, believe that there's an epileptic blind person in the control tower having a seizure, causing these two, and he's black, by the way, causing these two planes to crash into each other. That's basically what he was saying.
Trump has received widespread criticism after blaming Democrats' diversity, equity and inclusion initiatives for the crash. Let's hear a clip.
Hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy.
The policy would have been active throughout Trump's first term in office.
The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. I don't think so. I think it's just the opposite.
OK, it should be said that there is currently no evidence of a causal link between diversity initiatives and the crash at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. So let's now turn to talk to John LeBouillier, who is a former Republican congressman, and he joins us now from New York. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to be with you. I love listening to Mr. Cox. I see him here. Every time there's an accident, he's on TV in America. He's one of the great experts.
Well, I mean, talking of waiting for expert comment, what is your reaction to Trump's comments?
I happened to be watching that press conference yesterday. I was aghast at him. He comes out, he's got papers, he reads at the beginning. It's been prepared for him, and it's normal presidential stuff. Let's have a moment of silence for the victims. And what a shame, we're going to investigate. And then out goes the script, and off we go with Donald Trump by the seat of his pants, riffing, making things up as he goes along. And we saw it in COVID every day in those endless afternoon press conferences. Same thing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's saying things that almost make half our country believe, because they believe him and they voted for him, believe that there's an epileptic blind person in the control tower having a seizure, causing these two, and he's black, by the way, causing these two planes to crash into each other. That's basically what he was saying. And it's ridiculous and has no basis in fact. But this is Donald Trump, and we're going to have to get back to being used to this for 4 years.
So in your view, then, do you think that he's politicised essentially a non-political event?
I do. And I think the DEI thing, as I have read it overnight, the policies that he was criticizing were put in during his term as president. We have an outsider here who's really an insider and who has a record. And he enacted policies 8 years ago, 6 years ago, that are still there now. He's trying to lay it off on Obama and Biden. I don't think that's true. I don't pretend to know, obviously, what caused this accident, but I don't think he does either.
You mentioned his reaction to COVID. Is there an argument that this time around in particular, America voted for this guy? As actually somebody who got in contact on the Breakfast Show on Times Radio said, they voted for a kind of rock singer, not a symphony orchestra. This time, is this kind of thing from Trump just priced in and we've all got to deal with it, unsavoury though it might be?
Yes, it is priced in. Let's remember, though, he was overwhelmingly voted out during COVID, in great part because of his handling of it. He did get back in this past November, no question. But even though he won, he did not reach 50% of the popular vote. So the country's divided, 50-50-ish, still that way now. His approval rating in the first 10 days has gone down 7 points already in the Reuters poll as people see him as president doing stuff they don't want, like pardoning the January 6th people who beat up police officers. Nobody's in favor of that. And these things, freezing all the government payments, all this stuff is not what he ran on or what they voted for. But we're only 11 days now, and let's see in 2 or 3 months how many people are happy with this behavior.
I mean, as a former Republican congressman, how does it make you feel is to be considered, certainly once upon a time, as part of the same team as this guy? How different does it feel to the Republican Party that you once represented?
Well, Jeff, my Republican Party, I'm a Reagan Republican. I know Trump personally from New York years ago, and he's taken over the Republican Party with the agreement of Republican voters. They like Trump. They love Trump. It is not Reagan's party, it's Trump's party. I'm hanging in the party, waiting for the day that the Trumpism fades away, and maybe we can restore the party to something close to what it was. But we'll see. And by the way, I want to add one other thing about the crash, because my father was a test pilot his whole life, and growing up with him, when crashes would occur, and we'd be watching TV at night, and it's on the news, I must have been 20 different times I heard him say, human error. Almost every one of these things is a human being made a mistake. It's not the machine blowing up or some thing, because the machines we have to fly in are so sophisticated with so much backup potential if something doesn't work, that it's human error, probably pilot error, but that's to be determined.
But so is there a chance there that there could be, even if you take out the diversity element of it, that there could be an overcorrection whereby the sky above Washington does need to be quite busy, but that people overreact and enact measures out of fear of a blame culture? Right.
Well, having gone there a million times when I was in Congress and afterwards, this airport, as you obviously all know, is right in Washington, D.C., on the Potomac River. It's a small airport, 2 runways, a lot of traffic, airplane traffic coming in, both commercial, private jets, big mucky mucks coming into Washington. And you have all this helicopter and especially military helicopter traffic flying up and down the Potomac. It is a tricky place. Pilots have to be on their best P's and Q's to get in and out, and they do a great job mostly, but there have been other close calls between planes and helicopters. And Congress is a little bit at fault because, and I was one of them, I could be in my office, Jeff, in the Cannon House office building on a Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And I want to take the 6 o'clock shuttle home to New York to be at an event at 8 o'clock at night. And it's a 1-hour flight. I could get from my office to the parking lot at National, 12 minutes.
Wow.
I go down the elevator, get in my car, drive right, it's right there, park, run in, get on the plane. I'm home in an hour. I'm in New York in an hour. Every one of the 535 House members and senators do this every week. They want that airport up and running till 11 at night. They want a lot of flights so they can get home, in this case, Kansas, California, wherever they want to go. And that puts pressure on the FAA to allow more planes to come in and out of there.
I guess that's something that, may well come out in an inquiry. Just finally, last week, just days after his inauguration, Trump eliminated the membership of a key committee that handles aviation security. And his presser obviously included jabs at Biden and Obama. Is this just him being nakedly political and trying to get on the front foot to avoid blame and to shift guilt?
Well, that was done before the crash, so I don't know. I mean, wasn't it? What you're telling me about this key committee, I don't know about it. But
just days after his inauguration, it's saying that the membership of a key committee was eliminated. So, with Trump, there's always whatever seems, I guess, on the venal side, there's often a political objective to it. But as journalists, and we have to all report on what can be verified. And at this point, the link between DEI, you're saying, can't be verified.
Right. And another part of it is the safety of flying, which even affects you guys coming over here when you fly over here. That's the federal government oversees all flights, safety, airplanes, maintenance, all of it is checked by the federal government. And as Trump tries to cut spending, and Elon Musk and all that, are they going to go after the FAA and all the maintenance stuff, which is very expensive?
Yeah.
But it's the role of government to make sure we get on a safe airplane. They do a good job with TSA since 9/11 to make sure terrorists aren't on there. That's worked pretty well. But maintenance of the plane, of every plane, That has to be kept up. And if it slacks because of budget problems, that's going to be a huge problem.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that all of this will come out in time with an investigation. But John LeBouillier, thanks very much for appearing on the show.